Hey, buddy.
Hey,
How
what's
are
with
you,
that
sir?
elevator music today?
I don't know. It's better than the Dolphins. I'm still never gonna let that down, dude.
I
That
was really,
Dolphins
I was
sound
really
was.
getting into the groove then with that music. That was
Were
really
you?
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
it was like.
Happy to hear that, Darren.
But yeah,
Well, everybody, welcome to a new installment of the Unfiltered Historian Presents. We're doing today a history happy hour because it's Friday, and yeah, it's Friday. That's
Friday.
really the only reason. Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Saturday morning.
For you, it is. For us, it's Friday. You had me confused
Coincidence,
for a second.
coincidence.
I'm like, what better not be
So I take it
Saturday?
it's 8:05 in the evening in Virginia,
Yeah,
and it's still light.
yeah, it's still late.
So what time does it get dark that time of year? This time of year?
About now normally.
Oh,
I
okay,
know like I've been out on battlefields at least 3 or 4 times this summer and have been able to get off at like 8:30 with a little bit of light still. So nothing too crazy.
nice.
Yeah, was out at Chancellorsville for the majority of this afternoon. That
Yeah,
was
so I
cool.
saw that
Yeah.
picture and I just absolutely loved the sky.
Yeah, man. The sky was perfect today. It was a little
Wow.
humid at points, but otherwise it was a perfect day to walk around Chancellorsville and just really soak up the history. No pun intended there, of course. But I got another set of my maps today because I really know that these things are going to go out of print soon, and I don't want to not have a good shape copy. My Chancellorsville ones have coffee stains, have tears, but they've been used a lot, so of course they're going to bear the signs of usage. That's kind of what we're looking at with those. But they're very invaluable when it comes to studying that battlefield. So it's nice to have another hard copy set that I know are going to be
What's that?
safe
Sorry, is that the
here.
blue and grey magazine?
Nope, these are the troop movement maps, the big
Oh,
set of
okay.
them. The National Park Service and Eastern National did those a few years back. The Spotsylvania ones are all out, which really sucks because the Spotsylvania ones are like God. There's like 24 maps in that series. Even the Chancellorsville map, excuse me. There's 12 sets for that one. 12 maps, so there's a set of 12, and I've got another set of those because, like I said, the other ones are bearing the signs of all that usage that I've put into it in the years that I've had it. So now I need something that's going to be more to have at home, and these give me the availability to take the ones that are kind of beat up, take them out, and use them on the battlefield.
But you showed me that back. That sorry to go back, but you did show
No,
me
you're
a
fine.
series that you had of the blue and grey
Yes, so
magazine.
there's a
So there's
great
some
blue
really
and gray
good
set
maps
too.
in those, isn't there?
There are, and blue and gray are very good for that for when you get to use those on some of the battlefields as well. Each blue and gray, I shouldn't say each, but most of them come with a tour in the back of the book. So you have I think it's called the General's Tour that you'll see in the back of it, and a lot of the maps that are just within the issues of those blue and gray are very superlative because they're done. I mean, just very well, and I love being able to use those on battlefields too. Particularly the Chancellorsville one, especially for May 3rd. Because May 3rd, there's so much going on, and there's a lot to try to follow on May 3rd. So when you come out and you can see all the individual movements that are happening, it makes it a little bit easier to follow, especially if you're trying to follow a specific unit into battle there on May 3rd. Because like I said, it gets a little hot in that area for sure.
So if you was to say to me, what is your most studied battlefield? Is that the one? Is that, or is it all of them? What are
Um,
what is your favourite? I know it's a hard question to answer, but
it really
what's
is because
your favourite?
I feel like it's changed throughout the years. Um, Initially, it was Fredericksburg, hands down. Fredericksburg was my favorite battlefield, but it's morphed into Chancellorsville. I should even say Wilderness and Spotsylvania. Just because I have Chancellorsville as my favorite doesn't mean I love any of these battlefields, lesser than the others. I love them all the same. They're all very important battlefields. And to go to places like Chancellorsville, though, that's the one that I have such a connection with. I think Chancellorsville is definitely my favorite to study. The one that I probably studied the most. Yeah, Chancellorsville.
Yeah, yeah, and it is an interesting battle. It really is.
Yeah, and my favorite part has, I mean, of course, it has something to do with Jackson in passing, but my favorite parts of the battlefield are not necessarily where Jackson's flank attack is prevalent. It's more so what's happening at Catherine's Furnace. So again, I should take that back because that is part of Jackson's column getting attacked there by the sharpshooters and elements of the 12th Corps. But I mean, that's the part of the field that I really have an attachment to, not so much the Jackson flank attack. Not that it's important because it is very important, but just Again, my focus is there. Hazel Grove and Fairview, Slocum's Court. There's line there.
It is a fantastic battlefield to tour. So, I mean, I'm talking from experience now, because I was lucky enough to be taken out there by yourself. So I just want to say to people, if you do ever visit that area, please go and, but start at the visitor centre, because the visitor centre at the Wilderness is it the Wilderness or the Chancellorsville Visitor Centre?
Chancellorsville. So
Yeah,
Chancellorsville's Visitor Center will serve as the Spotsylvania and Wilderness exhibits as well.
yeah.
There are exhibit shelters on those two battlefields, but those two exhibit shelters are
That
open-faced museum
that
exhibits.
museum in there blew me away.
It's a very well done museum.
That is a very, very good museum. So, guys, if you do ever go to the area, please go and visit that first. And really, really funny thing happened is they built the site where Jackson got wounded outside. Sorry, it was around the other way, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No, but the wounding site is literally outside the front door.
that's right.
So, and it's amazing, amazing place. And Tyler actually lived there for a time, didn't you, Tyler?
I did. It was
Yeah.
incredible. And I think that also plays into a lot of why I have this feeling towards Chancellorsville and really want to dive into it further. It's just a very incredible place to be, and the story doesn't end with Jackson's wounding. Again, that's why I highlight May 3rd so much, because there's such a terrific day when it comes to the fighting on May 3rd. You lose a soldier for every second of battle for the first 5 hours of combat. That's pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, these stories about Chancellorsville really end on Jackson's wounding, May 2nd, 1863, and completely ignores what's happening on May 3rd. Hell, there's a whole different battle
Well,
happening.
let's talk
in
about May
Fredericksburg.
4th, because you've got that little church literally up the road from you, called
Salem
Salem
Church.
Church, and the Second Battle of Fredericksburg, which no one ever talks about, and it's so frustrating because
Emory
it's so
Upton.
interesting. The whole thing, the actual attack of Mary's Heights is a really interesting thing.
It sure is.
I mean, they're ordered to storm the wall without loading, aren't they? Because they know they knew what happened last time. They're not going to do it again. So it's a quick attack, isn't it?
It's very quick. They're not even going to sit there and stick around for it either. It's pretty heavy fighting. I mean, the 121st New York, commanded at that time by Emory Upton, they take 60% casualties over there by the church. That's the 10th highest Union regiment. I think that's the 10th highest out of that type of casualty numbers. And that's overwhelming. Your men can't tolerate that kind of casualties and stay in a spot for a long time. You're going to have to pull out at some point, and they realize that. And
does Lee's Hill actually have a part in that battle as well?
It does. I think it's set on fire by Confederates at one point.
Mm-hmm. Formerly known as Telegraph Hill, is that correct?
Telegraph Hill, correct.
There we go. Yeah,
I still refer to it as Telegraph Hill. I know it's Lee's Hill.
Yeah, they changed it obviously for the purposes of probably tourism, maybe, I don't know. But why did they change the name of that?
It was a position that Robert E. Lee stood on during the battle.
And that's where the cannon blows up.
Mm-hmm.
So if
did I take you up there?
Yes, you did. Yeah,
I did. Okay,
we spent a very good hour.
That's right. We did. Yeah, we did because we met. What's his name? Jason.
Yeah, we met Jason. Yeah,
that's right.
It was a mate. And actual fact, that is actually a great spot to go, guys, because there is actually some information about Second Fredericksburg up there, inside a little shelter.
Similar to the ones that are out at the Spotsylvania.
It's a nice little walk up there, but it's really surreal because at the back of the site is like an industrial estate, and it's like really weird, really strange. But yeah, it's a fantastic site. But yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, I'd literally live and breathe every day if I could.
You got to spend some time on a lot of these battlefields, and I can't believe I haven't asked you this yet. Which battlefield that we were able to visit do you think is your favorite, and why?
Oh God, you put me in a spot there.
I know. Sometimes you answer the best when that happens.
To be honest with you, I think
tough, isn't it?
I'm like you at first. I really like, and I know it's weird because it's all over. It's all grown up with like you've got the urban sprawl, but I really like Fredericksburg at the moment. It's just something about it, even though it's and the thing that will always live in my memory is you showing me the first evening the swale, down the little alleyways and that nobody knows about. And the fact that we actually focused on it and did a video on it. And if you want to see the video, it's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
And the photograph on the Unfiltered page, ladies and gentlemen, is Tyler laying down in the actual swale that was there during the battle, during the storming of Mary's Heights. And if you didn't have someone like Tyler with you, you wouldn't see it.
No.
So I'm really grateful for that. And that we actually experimented as well, didn't we? So the photograph you will see is Tyler laying down. And what we came up with is you couldn't see the wall in that depression in the ground. But if you was on your knees, you could actually see it. So for that brief couple of minutes, anyone that was laying in that swale got a brief respite from the slaughter that was going on around them. And they probably, a lot of them laid in that probably during the night.
I would think so. It's close enough or far away enough to where I could see that, especially where we were at over there off of Little Page.
My favourite part at the moment is the sunken wall and the cemetery. I just think it's just an amazing place. I mean, if I lived there, I'd literally be down there all the time. It's really, even though it's in the town, it's really peaceful and really quiet still. You could literally go and sit there and think about the world and whatever's going on around, and it wouldn't matter because it's so peaceful.
And that's sort of what I get out of Chancellorsville when I'm out there. It's different in that aspect. I mean, you can still hear a lot of Route 3. That's something that's very different when you're on a battlefield. When you're over at the Jackson monuments over there behind the visitor center, you can hear 3 just bustling, man. And that it takes away from it. It really does. But when you get out to places like Hazel Grove and Fairview, and you don't hear the traffic anymore.
Oh my God,
and my favorite thing is there's this phenomenon out at Catherine's Furnace where it's almost eerily just completely quiet, and you can't hear
Actually, I noticed that myself, but I was too concerned about being killed by a bear. But that was your fault. You was winding me up. No, he wasn't. But yeah, he as I got out of the car, Tyler said, "Oh, you remember that joke about Nate? You was taking the Michael out of him."
Yep.
Well, there are a few bears around here, and they haven't gone to bed yet. I'm like, thanks for telling me that, mate. And I want to jump in the car.
Yeah, I was like, they're still out there. But yeah, Nate and I saw it.
Yeah, I got that feeling of that real sight. It's like a real quiet place.
It is. It's a very quiet place, and it's a great
and a
place
little bit. I suppose if you was on your own, quite eerie.
Yeah, I've been out there by myself a lot.
Eerie little place.
In fact,
I got that.
I go there to read. When I'm studying Chancellorsville, if I actually want to read on the battlefield, no matter what about the battlefield I'm reading, I always pull my car into Catherine's Furnace, and I'll just sit in my car and read.
I mean,
sometimes that's amazing.
And then if you want to go off on a tangent, I would say also, all of it, Antietam was so special.
Oh, yes, it was.
I mean, firstly, I got to, we drove the scenic route up through the Shenandoah Valley. I mean, that is just goosebump time.
Yeah, it was.
We crossed Germanna Fall, didn't we, on the way up? There's things like that, stuff that I read about in a book. I was crossing it, So them sort of little silly things for me.
Well, that's what I was thinking about at Gettysburg on my way up to Gettysburg last week. Yeah, I crossed Germanna Ford. I'm just like, holy crap! I'm crossing Germanna Ford. I mean, it never gets old.
How many times the Union Army crossed over that ford to go again?
And I've crossed over it more times than they have. That's nuts.
I mean, all those fords. You've got all those ones around there, haven't you? One place I regret not going was. Although we probably went past it, was the crossroads where Grant decides to go south.
We did go past that.
Yeah, and next time
we didn't stop though. Yeah, we need to stop.
I need to stop and stand there.
And unfortunately, you can't stand obviously in the middle of the road.
You can't. No, you would get killed.
Yeah.
And again,
but you can. You can be very close to it. And that's
another special spot was Salem Church, and regardless of whether that traffic was going past. So what happened is, ladies and gents, I was a little bit silly and thought that I could walk from Tyler's house because I thought I was in the UK for a minute. I could walk to Tyler's house, cross the road and get to the pub.
And he wants to cross US 3, folks.
And I looked at that road and thought, I am never getting across that damn road.
No.
So
No.
Anyway, I was going to go to Salem Church anyway, but afterwards I was going to have a cheeky little beer, and wait for Tyler at the pub.
Cheeky little beer.
Yeah, but I couldn't. But do you know what? I sat on the bench and I was waiting for Tyler to come and get me. And I was probably there about 45 minutes, and it was just so peaceful.
Salem Church is very, no, I need to take advantage of it.
Beautiful
I live
spot.
right by it, and I
Absolutely gorgeous place. And you can just see the history in the walls with the bullet holes and the, wow. And then you've got that giant, you've got two giant New Jersey monuments. One's on the side of Salem Church, but I didn't see the second one. I didn't know where that was.
The second one's over by a furniture store.
Yeah, so you've got to cross the road to get to that, I take it.
Yeah, you got to cross the road. Yeah. Once you get over to that part.
Also, what was really difficult is there's no damn sidewalk up some of that. I will never be doing that ever again.
Hugging the road, man. You're like, oh shit, this is probably not a good idea.
It was too late. I was halfway there.
Yep. At that point, you got to commit, man. You're already that far into it.
Another highlight, obviously, is standing, on the mule shoe, but then going back into the woods a bit further back.
That was fun.
And meeting Ted. Those guys, they're amazing people.
I love it. I met Todd and Barry. Todd Rhodes, Barry Rhodes, our guys. Yeah, I met them at the Bloody Angle, and we did a day at Chancellorsville after that. That's so fun. That was one of the best tours, if not the best tour I've ever had of Chancellorsville by far. I was with those guys. They made it really fun.
Yeah.
They really did. Oh, over there on YouTube, it's Jerry saying, if it isn't Stewie Griffin. Hello, Jerry. I hope you're having a fantastic summer, sir. But yeah, Daz, that I would say definitely Chancellorsville. I'm going zero back to our favorite Battlefield talk.
I can't choose, mate, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, I love the whole of Central Virginia.
And of course, I do too. But like I said, if I had to go to a very specific battlefield, which again, I really don't ever want to do that, Chancellorsville would have to be.
And again, another highlight was spending 2 hours with Terry, at Central Virginia Battlefield Trust HQ, completely unplanned, completely unexpected.
Jerry over on YouTube says, I love your podcast. How is your summer going? Well, thanks, Jerry. I'm glad you like our podcast. We're really, really happy to have you as a listener. My summer's going very well. I have been traveling a lot, going all over the place, doing just, different talks. Gettysburg, now we're going to Ohio. And then I spoke here in town. I'm going to go back to Gettysburg so much this summer to go and study and spend some time up there and just absorb in the history all around us. So yeah, that's been my summer. I've got 2 new cats, by the way, Jerry. They're cool little cats.
Yeah, we can hear them.
Yeah, that's okay. I've made my peace with that.
In the background. Yep. So Ohio. How long is that going to take you?
It's going to be a long drive. That's how long
it's going to take.
It's a very long drive.
Wow.
But yeah, that's going to be fun.
So what are you doing there? What are you?
Emory Upton in Modern Myth and Memory.
Oh, nice.
Second time delivering that one.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are hoping to get Tyler over to the UK next year to the American Civil War Roundtable UK conference. But if it doesn't happen, he's coming over anyway. But he's going to talk Emory Upton there as well, hopefully.
Absolutely. And Braceface Jerry on YouTube says, I went to Jersey. Oh, cool. And I hear my cat again. Hello, cat. Do you want to say anything on the podcast? Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I have a question. How do you go from having cats on your porch and just like,
Well, they're not stray cats from the porch, thankfully.
To actually owning 2 now.
Yeah, house-trained cats, not strays.
Yeah.
That
just happened.
Yeah, just happened.
Fair enough.
Really no rhyme or reason to it. Just happened.
Oh, Todd Rose is asking a question on Facebook.
Sure, can you? I don't have that.
Yeah, so when is the UK conference? So that will normally be in May. So it's a spring conference. Yeah, we had a great conference this year. We had 3 great historians from the US come over. We had Jeff Bushankin, Terry Beckenbauer, who is actually a descendant of, and some people might not know who he is, of a German football player, a very famous German football player called Franz Beckenbauer from, I think, the late 80s, 90s. Okay. Anyway, he was a thorn in the backside for the English. Let's put it that way. and a guy called Kyle Sinisi,
Okay.
and they all focused on the Trans Mississippi Theatre. And so
Okay.
we had some
Cool.
great talks. Anyway, in the autumn, all of those talks will be put on the Roundtable's YouTube channel. I filmed them all. I did actually. Some of them didn't turn out great, and one of them I did miss. But Jeff is a great historian. He really loves Kirby Smith, and he does a talk on Kirby Smith. Interesting character of the Civil War, actually. But yeah, it's normally in May. Yeah.
Okay. I know. I'm hoping, man. I would love to get down and
And
talk
of
to that.
course, we're trying to swing it so we can get Mr. ECW and Terry as well.
Yeah.
So, and then if they do arrive in the UK, they're getting a week tour with me. So yeah, and there'll be lots of live videos.
Oh my god, that would be
Imagine.
just an insane trip, man, to be able to
I
spend over
mean,
there.
we'll do a couple of days in London. I'm trying to get you down to Torrington. But the thing is, if we
I
go
really
down
want
to
to go.
Torrington, we have to stop at Stonehenge on the way.
Of
Because
course.
it's on the way. And then we also have to stop at Salisbury Cathedral, where Magna Carta is.
Oh my god.
And Magna Carta is one of the oldest documents in the world.
I would be very
Learn
happy
their
to
history.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That would be incredible to see. So yeah, it sounds like we could have some good times over there in the UK once we get everything squared away.
But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, in the background, we're working very, very hard to bring you the best content we can. And we are not going to tell you what it is yet, but we have got something massive planned.
Yeah, I know. We did some
It is gonna
brainstorming
blow
today.
everything
Something
else out the
cool.
water.
Yeah.
It's huge. And,
I'm excited.
you
We have a
know,
lot going on this coming year. Like,
mhm. And also we have a lot of stuff coming up from live backstage stuff from Emergency War Symposium. We have full blessing from one of the co-founders himself, and we're going to be there, and you're going to get loads of stuff. You're going to get interviews, you're going to get behind the scenes stuff, you're going to get all sorts.
yeah,
And it's
it's
all
going to
going
be
to be
exciting too.
on the Unfiltered and American Civil War and UK history.
Cool. So what else historical is going on this coming week? Let's see. Well, we are in June. We are coming into July, so there's a
We
lot
have
going
got a
on.
very, very important couple of days coming up next weekend. And what I worked out is because I think the battle actually happened on the days this year, didn't it? Because it was the July the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Yeah, I think so.
Was
Yeah.
it Saturday, Sunday, Monday? No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Believe you're right.
I think the Battle of Gettysburg started on a Friday. I'm sure of it.
Well,
But
we
yeah,
should
that's
find out.
I know.
I wanna look it
American
up and see.
Battlefield Trust are actually doing some live streams this year.
Of Gettysburg.
They'll be in and around. Yeah, I see an advert today go up.
Let's
So
see.
that'll be Mr. Chris White and Gary Edelman doing their thing. I'm sure it was, or was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
I'm not sure. I just
I'm
see.
thinking it was a Thursday that it started. If you know, leave it in the comments. Tell us, let us know.
Yeah, please. I'm over here looking it up and not finding anything. July 1st.
Right, I'm gonna also find out what's going on other than American Civil War in June.
Yeah, that's right. And then
Let me have a look.
July, we also not only do we have the Gettysburg anniversary, but July 30th we have the Battle of the Crater. And I have considered going down to do Crater 158 stuff.
Ooh, you little git. I don't like you anymore.
I know that's just a couple days before you get here too.
One thing I really do like is the story behind the Battle of the Crater.
Me too. And I've thought about it. I'm
you know
like, I
what?
might go down there for the day and try to do some programming down in Petersburg.
the thing that's always fascinated me about it, and what actually got me started on that one, was the film Cold Mountain,
Really, the
because
film.
the opening scene is the crater,
Oh,
and not everyone likes the film. I actually don't mind it, but the opening scene is the best part of the film.
yeah.
You
The
know,
rest of it's rubbish. But
and also Jude Law is English, so
so is Charlie Hunnam. He's in there too, I think.
there's a few Englishmen in that, and also
Yeah.
there is a guy called um, what's his name? He does the worst American accent I've ever heard, and he normally plays a British gangster. Ray Winston is
Hmm.
also, the bloke that stays at home, and he's like he's got that weird bloke with the white hair with him. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He's a right hillbilly, isn't he? But anyway.
He's a right hillbilly.
Yeah.
I'm fond of that.
Anyway, I
But
hope I
yeah,
didn't offend anyone. Sorry if I did.
offend me. I'm good. I'm trying to think what else I have for tonight. Other than the fact that we do have some anniversaries coming up. I definitely, being that I've been out at Chancellorsville a lot, I really want to start doing more stuff surrounding Chancellorsville.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
we will hopefully, on the one afternoon, we should get time to go out and do some stuff out there if you want to.
that'd be cool.
And we can do it live. Because I think the symposium finishes at lunchtime, so we have a whole afternoon after that. So we could go out and do some stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to make Sunday morning symposium.
Oh, of course you're not. No,
Nope, I won't. I have to go see
you
my
have to go
daughter.
to your daughter. That's correct.
That's
Yeah,
right. So I won't be able to
but
make Sunday
that's fine.
morning.
That's not a problem. We understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I tell you now, ladies and gentlemen, I have got a very special trip coming up in September, and I'm going to Waterloo.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm jealous, dude, to go all the way to Waterloo,
Mark,
man. Like,
my friend Mark Wheatcroft, he sent me a message, and he said, why haven't you replied to my message I sent you the other day? I said, what message? He said, I'm trying to organise a trip for me and you to Waterloo. And I said, sorry, mate, I didn't read it properly. I'm game. So we're organising it now. We're going to go for 2 days. And then he reckons that a day and a half is enough to get around that battlefield. So what we're going to do on the way back is get a very, very late train back to the UK. Therefore, doing some World War One stuff on the way back through Belgium. And maybe even some World War Two. I'm actually going to see how close we are to Bastogne.
oh, that'd be cool.
But I'm not sure because it's up near Brussels, Waterloo, and I'm not too sure on the geography of World War Two. So, yeah, watch this space. There'll be lots of live stuff coming.
Cool.
But yeah, we're going to do that. That's really cool. And literally, all I've got to do is go out my front door, get in my car, and get on the Eurotunnel. I drive my car onto the train, and in 35 minutes, I'm in France. So it's not a hard journey. You've got a 2-hour journey afterwards, obviously, but it's on my doorstep.
It is. You're not far from it at all. So
So
you need to go see France, man.
I need to go and do Waterloo and see where Napoleon got his ass handed to him.
That would be so cool. I'd have virtually no knowledge of that engagement or that war.
You know
at
what?
all.
Nor do I, Tyler. I'll be completely honest with you.
You neither.
Napoleonic Wars goes over my head.
Me too.
And I'm British and I should know it, but I don't because it's not one of my favourite periods. But I think maybe going to the battlefield, it might give me a kick up the backside to read more about it and research more about it, because it is a very important part of our. And again, I mean, if people have been watching my content this week, I've been focusing a lot on defences that were put in during that period along the south coast of England. So maybe I should start doing some more research in it. Also, ladies and gents, I do have a little tour of Naseby coming up as well, which I'm going to do on my own. I'm completely going shotgun on my own. I don't have anyone with me. I'm completely. I don't even know where the hell I'm going, but I've got a rough idea. I've looked at the map, and I'm going to go to all the important spots. And they've built these. They've really looked after the place, and they've put like platforms at all the most important spots. There's one spot that it's called Souls. I can't remember what it's called. It's a hedge. The hedge was there during the Battle battle, and it was used during the battle by dragoons. That is the hardest part of the battlefield to get to.
Is it called a hedgerow?
It's called Salisbury Hedge or something.
Salisbury.
Salisbury Hedge. I can't remember the
Okay.
exact name.
There's
but
a
anyway,
hedgerow here at the Salem
Yeah.
Church battlefield too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the story behind this, for those of you that don't know the Battle of Naseby, it's the last battle in the First English Civil Wars, and it's the last time Charles I will fight against Parliament army. But the hedge itself, so dragoons rid to the battle, they got off their horse, they went behind this hedge, and as the royalist cavalry were attacking the parliamentarians, they shot their muskets through the hedge, and they completely obliterated the flank of this. And this hedge is 300 and, well, it's probably older than that, you know.
Sure. No,
I
absolutely.
mean, the battle was 370 years ago.
And the hedges are still there.
And it's still there, yeah, and it's still immaculate. It's still in absolute pristine condition. So I'm going to do some live videos for that.
Cool.
In not next weekend, weekend after.
The weekend after.
Mm-hmm.
Darren, I greatly look forward to those.
Yeah, and also something else exciting. Sorry.
No.
Next weekend, I'm at another reenactment. And
another one?
Yes. So
you're staying busy this year, Jesus.
I am. I'm very, very busy for July. I've got a dedication for another Civil War veteran in London, which you'll see live on our monument page one. I've got 2 reenactments. I'm going to Naseby.
Okay.
But this reenactment I'm going to next week, we have a Chinook helicopter, and so I did. I don't know whether I sent you some pictures last year of it. So next door in the field, there's a Chinook helicopter and an Apache helicopter. And in the beer tent last year, I got chatting to the pilot, and I'm going to arrange it to go inside these helicopters when the crowd's gone home and get exclusive, you know. I mean, the Apache helicopter, man, you know, that was like, you know, America's greatest helicopter, surely.
Absolutely was.
And you want to hear the sound of it when it flies over. It is goosebumps.
Wouldn't that be cool if he could take you for a ride in it?
Well, I don't think that would happen, but I think that,
no,
yeah, he's a bit. God. Imagine if he'd have a few too many. Yeah, let's go for a ride. Fuck it.
Nothing could go wrong.
No, but I would just be happy with just a little nose inside the cockpit, to be honest with you.
That's what she said.
And that's what the vicar said to the bishop. Yeah, more tea, vicar.
Oh my God.
But yeah. But can you imagine that? What's that button do? No, not that one. That's the rockets, you idiot.
Oh my God, that would be very bad.
Like the Confederate camp, couldn't you? One shot.
I know, right? Gore. They would think you're General Sherman or something.
So yeah, I'm a very busy boy, and then after that, I'm coming to America again.
I'm going to America,
and I'm even booked. I'm even flying on an American airline this time because it was the cheapest.
You're flying on American Airlines?
Yeah, I'm flying United. I am. Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I don't fly. I don't know.
No,
the first time I'm going to fly is when I come out to see you.
But the best thing is my flight is really early in the morning. So my flight is 7:45 UK time, and it gets me into Dulles International Airport at 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's a big bonus. So, you know, there'll be a bit of history on the way back to Fredericksburg.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe you should jump in the car with Tim and come with him.
Tim and I were talking about that, actually.
Because I want to stop at a few spots on the way home.
Tim and I were discussing that, so there's a good chance that I will be with you.
And the funny thing is, he said to me, Darren, what would you rather do? And I said, well, I don't mind, whatever. I really don't mind. Whatever's best, whatever's easiest.
Manassas.
As long as I have got.
You realize you're going to be here like right
in this field with me. I don't care.
Wait a minute. The day you're coming in, are we going to be at Manassas on the 160th anniversary?
Well, that's what I was trying to work out.
I just thought about that. Hold on.
Battle of because we was talking about the book the other day, and ladies and gentlemen, we do apologise about not doing that book review that we promised we was going to do, but things just happened and we didn't get time. But it's called who wrote that book again? I can't remember.
John Hennessy.
Return to Bull Run. That's it.
August 30th. No, is it August 30th that it takes place? So yeah, you'd be
Yeah,
a
no, it's
little.
late in August, isn't it? But
Yeah,
still,
August
we can
28th through 30th.
pretend
You'll still be close. No, you can pretend. We'd be there close enough to where it
we'll
would
be
be.
there close enough. Yeah, but I
And
would
if
like to
anything, you'll
say,
be there closer to the. You'll be right in between the 161st anniversary of First Manassas and the 160th the second. So you'll kind of be like right in the middle of both of those.
so a couple of questions about that. Is Wilma McLean's house still there?
I'm not sure actually.
Okay. And I remember you telling me that the Jackson Memorial there is a little bit sort of
Oh,
like, yeah, I can't remember how you,
and muscular. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a bit over the top, a bit.
There's the monument itself is just an all over anomaly, man. You got like you have an anatomically correct horse. You have a very muscular horse though. It's like very buff. It's like Jackson's almost buffer than the horse. It's like he could pick it up and walk with it. It's like, come on, little sorrel, and just like throw it over your shoulder and just walk with little sorrel. I mean, like Jackson just looks very disproportionate. And again, I get it; it's the architect's idea, like whatever.
So
But it's such a weird thing.
do you like that battlefield? What's your take on
Manassas,
Manassas
I love
battlefield?
Manassas, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh no, without a doubt. I'm not the most extremely knowledgeable on Manassas. I should be because I go there a lot now. Especially Tim has taken me a few times, and the stuff that I know is all from Tim. And being able to spend time with him on the battlefield, he's tremendously helped me understand more of what I really had virtually nothing when it came to knowledge on. I had an ancestor, two of them actually, one serving with Edward Porter Alexander directly, and even whatever the story is, he makes silver spurs for Lee in the field out of artillery repair tools and stuff. So that's kind of cool to have, I guess, in her right. I have the Parker's Battery, Edward Samuel Duffy. He's out there fighting on Second Manassas.
Yeah.
It's one of his first engagements with Parker's Battery, believe it or not.
In fact, it's Parker's first Battery. We're definitely going to have to do a podcast on that.
Do a whole episode of this from
I want to do a whole episode about your ancestors.
Okay. That would be. I'd like to do that.
Or American Civil War and UK history in the future.
Okay,
definitely.
We can do that
because I love that story. I love the story you told at Antietam.
Thank you. Yeah, the Parker's Battery story is. Their whole story is pretty crazy
and it's just amazing that you have this connection to the Civil War. And again, as you've mentioned, not on one side but both sides.
My closest connection
about the Union side, then, because we always hear about your Confederate side. So I want to hear about your Union
side. The closest connection I have is with my Union ancestor. So believe it or not, this is going to be kind of crazy. I have a great grandfather who served in the U.S. Civil War. I'm 27 years old, and I do have a great grandfather. Yeah. My dad's grandfather was in the 1st United States Sharpshooters Company B under Hiram Berdan. He was in Berdan Sharpshooters, which is just awesome. His brother was also in Company B, 1st United States Sharpshooters. My great-grandfather did not serve in the war past Fredericksburg. He ended up with the Veteran Reserve Corps right before Gettysburg, and that's because he got really ill at a couple different points in the war. In the beginning, right around 1862, around the 7 Days Campaign, Peninsula Campaign time frame, there is this engagement right outside of Harrison's Landing and around White Oak Swamp, and in both locations, he's going to contract yellow fever and malaria. And then when he goes to fight at Fredericksburg, after miraculously recovering from these two pretty debilitating illnesses, he has this weird phenomenon where he can't hear, he can't see, he can't speak. It's basically writing about being frozen, so I'm wondering if that's not the effects of hypothermia or something else. However, ultimately, it leads to his joining of the Veteran Reserve Corps right before Gettysburg, so he's not there. His brother will be wounded. Lawrence is wounded at Gettysburg. In fact, give me a moment. I will grab the Gettysburg roster of killed and wounded. Their other brother joined with the 140th New York Infantry. He dies at Gettysburg.
Oh, wow.
couple days after. Give me one moment. I'll grab the roster of Killed at Gettysburg and I'll
go
read you a
grab
little bit
it.
about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
One moment.
Yeah, Todd, you asked a question about monuments on the other side of the channel regarding the Alabama fight. I think that was that a Shawberg, Sherberg. Sorry, I'm not sure, mate. I think there might be some buried
These are wonderful things.
commentary. Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever seen these? Have I showed you these
Well,
before?
I don't think you did. I think you might have showed one. Yeah, I think you did show me a long time ago.
This is volume 1. First United States Sharpshooters. Oh, I can go 140th New York first. We'll just do that.
Anyway, going back to because Todd Rhodes asked a question to me
Sure.
about so there was a naval battle off the coast of Cherbourg during the American Civil War, and I don't know about monuments. I mean, I think there might be one in Cherbourg itself, but there is. I'm pretty sure that some of the people were buried in England, but I couldn't be 100% sure of that, Todd. We'll definitely start having a look and doing some more research on it.
All right. So their brother Hugh was the one that ended up mortally wounded at Gettysburg, and I can read a little bit about what happens to him at Gettysburg once I figure out where.
This is really cool that you found this book anyway. Where did you find this?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books.
Oh my God!
Have I never shown you these before?
No, you didn't show me them in person.
Okay, hold on.
I think you talked about it once on a podcast we did.
Give me one second. I'll get him
Oh
off.
my God! He's going to get. Don't let him get his book collection out, ladies and gents. I mean, have you seen his book collection? It's huge. One pile stacked up like in Ghostbusters. I keep going on about it, but it is.
I heard you say Ghostbusters, and I knew immediately it was a comment about my library. All right, so I have volume 1, 2, and 3. This is the entire Union casualties at Gettysburg.
Oh my God!
1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
And then 1, 2.
So is that literally just their names?
Yep,
And
a little bit about and where they're from and where they could be buried.
Somebody must have had to put a lot of hard work into that.
That's all the Confederate.
Wow.
I mean, you can see they're not
So
little books.
Were these the official records that were put into a book?
Mm-mm.
Or
They're
did someone
official.
spend
Yes,
their time writing that?
Somebody spent the time.
Oh my God!
Going through.
Can you imagine? Did they get any sleep?
I would think so, but if you look at like the pages, I don't know if people would see it, but it's cool how they break it down. Like you can look at the name and who's from what regiment. So it's all broken down by regiment. All right, so we're going back to 140th New York. So we can find the first brother. His name is Hugh. He is the one that is ultimately mortally wounded at Gettysburg. 140th. Burns. Mortally wounded. Hugh McGraw, first lieutenant. Nice. Knee fractured by a gunshot, leg amputated. Died 8th July at the 2nd Division, 5th Corps Hospital. His body was sent home to Rochester by Surgeon Charles D. Brown.
2nd Division. That's the Psych Regulars Division.
Yeah, 2nd Division, 5th Corps. Enlisted 30 August 1862, Rochester, New York, as the 2nd Lieutenant of Company K at 28 years old. He was promoted to first lieutenant on 20 November 1862 and buried in Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York.
Sorry, what regiment was he? Sorry?
140th New York. Patty O'Rourke's boys, right on top of Little Round Top.
Wow.
Yep. And then in the same, I think it's in this one, actually, United States Regulars. Those are your favorites.
So as you know, ladies and gentlemen, I am a 4th US Infantry member, and I am a massive regular fanboy. So, yeah, very brave guys. When they were, because the thing, They basically got slaughtered in the wheat field, didn't they? Near enough, pretty much, as they went forward. But apparently, when they retreated in good order, meaning they didn't have their backs to the enemy as they retreated, but they did get a real thrashing.
And for his other brother, 1st United States Sharpshooters Company B, McGraw Lawrence is the only thing they have under wounded. There's nothing else for him other than McGraw Lawrence being wounded at Gettysburg.
So he gets wounded, but does he die from that wound?
Just wounded. Doesn't say mortally wounded, just wounded. 1st United States Sharpshooters don't take their 2nd Brigade, 1st Division of the 3rd Corps. They don't take a lot of casualties, it looks like. John Weston Brennan, the surgeon, he's wounded in the thigh, commissioned surgeon, 1st United States Sharpshooters, 17 October 1861 at Falmouth, Virginia, and resigned 25th November 1863. Company A, Hartenfels was wounded. Missing was shortened. Company B, they only had 4 people wounded, and my ancestor was one of the 4. That's the only casualties Company B took.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was wounded. It says a wound for everybody else in Company B but him.
So when you did the research into your ancestors, was that something that was handed down to you by your father?
I had to find it myself.
Or
My dad's sister notified me that we had a Union ancestor who was in Hiram Berdan's outfit. And when I found that out, I was just like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? I am a relative of sharpshooters. So now when it comes to Gettysburg, my big thing is trying to figure out where the 1st United States sharpshooters were at the field, because I heard all about the 2nd U.S. and the Vermont
guys. I hope you can do that, because then we can go to the spot when I'm there in August.
Figure out whereabouts he would have been when he was wounded, you know?
That would be interesting to go and film a little, or go and stand there and just, find a spot.
Really, but they're here too, at Chancellorsville.
Yeah.
The 1st United States Sharpshooters are here. And, the beautiful thing about me buying those maps today is I can go and look later and find out where exactly the 1st U.S. would have been at.
There you go.
Catherine's Furnace. I know exactly where they'd be at, but yeah, they were at Catherine's Furnace.
Nathan's watching along and he said hi. So good evening, Nate.
Nate, good evening to you, buddy. Hope all is well with you, sir.
Unfortunately, we can't seem to ever get the comments from Facebook onto Restream. It's so annoying, isn't it?
It's a bit peeving, yes.
And Derek Rupert also commented. He said, I hope you have a big trunk because I'm going to put my books in it. I think he means your books. I don't know what he means, but he's going to nick.
I don't either. No, I thought you're not taking.
Don't let him in. Buddy. Don't let him in.
No.
Tyler's is like a library. You can join as a member and you can have a library card.
I need to see if they sell like library cards. So if I want to loan books out, and be like, stamp the book. Be like, here's your due date. Here's your book. But yeah.
Okay, then let's talk about your books. How many do you think you got? Come on.
I don't even know.
Come on, let's have a guesstimate.
A guesstimate?
A guesstimate.
I
mean, because on average, how many do you buy a month? Would you say?
A month, probably 1 or 2 now.
You fucking sorry.
You fucking liar.
You liar. He works in the bookstore now, ladies and gentlemen, so he doesn't need to buy them anymore. He reads it and puts it back, and then you buy it.
I also get a discount too.
There you go. But anyway,
I didn't buy any books today. I bought a coffee mug, I bought a set of maps, and I got new hiking medallions for my hiking stick.
There you go. He's got a nice stick. I need to get a stick.
You do? Can you carry that back? Oh, you could get the collapsible stick to take home with you.
I just want a stick. Where did you get your stick from? The visitor center?
Yeah, they have the one they have now is a travel stick where it's the wooden stick, but it folds up into a bag. I know
I want it.
And you can put the little medallions on it like we have. You can still have the same. But
can you hit bears with them?
Can you hit bears with them? I'm not sure the collapsible stick will work for the
Actually, the thing that really concerns me about walking the battlefield this time of year is, you've got snakes and all sorts, and you're like,
so
it's like, and I've also been made aware that you can't wear shorts out on the battlefield because you'll get ticks on your leg.
I pulled 3 off at Gettysburg.
So you've got to literally tuck your jeans into your socks so they don't. Because not leeches, sorry.
Leeches. Yeah, fuck, if I'm getting leeches,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
leeches.
be in trouble.
Have a, that'll fix it. Have some leeches. That's what they used to do, didn't they? Oh, if you got an illness in like the 15th century in England and you went to see the quack, as they were called then,
The quack.
they would subscribe you a course of leeches. But tick. Yeah, so ticks can be quite harmful to humans. And I know somebody in the UK that contracted Lyme's disease.
Mm-hmm. Same thing here.
And it is not a very nice thing to have. So you have to be extremely careful out on the battlefield.
You really
in that long grass, that's where they are. You get one of those in your leg, you're knackered. So you have to wear long jeans out there, don't you? Long trousers.
You do. That was a good way to wrap up the podcast tonight. Warning, if you're going to walk our battlefields, make sure you have bug spray on, suntan lotion, or not sun, but like sunscreen. Absolutely put sunscreen on because you don't want to burn. And watch for snakes. Watch for wildlife because you're in our parks and you're in our battlefields.
And also, can I add one thing? If you drop it, pick it up and put it in the damn bin. Don't leave rubbish out there because they're very precious.
Well, folks, thank you again for joining for our history happy hour. I almost said history. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, thank you for joining our history happy hour.
That beer's starting to work, Tyler. That's what it is.
Unfortunately, it's not yet.
8%.
I'm thinking there might need to be another beer and sitting on my balcony winding the night down with a book.
There you go.
Sounds like a good
plan. You know what? It's been thoroughly enjoyable as usual. I didn't expect to go on tonight, so it was a nice surprise.
It was. And we'll be back Sunday with our regular programming for Unfiltered Conversations on Sunday, which we're excited for that as well. So again, folks, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode, and we will see you again on the next one. Take care.